Luise Katharina Breslau was a Swiss portrait painter of German origin, one of the few women artists. She could well be called a man of the world, as she came from a family of a Polish Jew living in Munich. Her father was a respected gynecologist, and when Louise was 2 years old, he was invited to Switzerland and offered a position as head physician at the University of Zurich. From such offers, do not refuse, and the family moved to Zurich. 8 years later, there was a disaster. Louise's father, during the autopsy of the dead body, was infected with staphylococcal infection, and since there were no antibiotics at the time, it became a death sentence. To top it all off, Louise had suffered from asthma since childhood, and every year, the attacks became more frequent. To cure herself, she went to a convent school for girls on Lake Constance at the insistence of her family. There was nothing much to do there, and Louise, from boredom, seriously engaged in drawing, which helped to brighten the dreary evenings. Gradually, this childish pastime turned into a serious hobby. She returned home to Zurich and began to take lessons from the academician Eduard Pfeiffer. But count on admission to the local art academy was not worth it. Women were not taken there. There was only one way out: to enter the Parisian private academy Julian, the only art institution in Europe where women could study. There, Breslau became the best and most capable student, and the only one of all graduates was able to exhibit her paintings at the famous Paris Salon. Breslau was noticed. She began to order paintings. About her work with rave reviews, critics, and viewers. She wrote mainly portraits to order, and there was no shortage of customers. Began the usual life of a successful portraitist: work, participation in Parisian salons, and dividends in the form of medals, awards, public recognition, and good earnings. She even became the first foreigner in France, received the Order of the Legion of Honor, and such awards are not just thrown around. But here is a personal life. Breslau was quite peculiar. She preferred to communicate more with friends, avoiding the society of men. If at first this behavior is only welcomed, then later, when it would be time for her to marry, the artist began to look askew. But why need men? If there is Madeleine Zillhardt, best friend, muse, model, confidant, and, according to some art historians, also a lover. Breslau, in addition to portraits to order, also painted images of girlfriends, looking at which it seems that they belong to the brush of some talented male artist who is a great hunter of women. There is a lot of passion, sensuality, hidden desire, eroticism. Obviously, a well-behaved girl could not exhibit such paintings. All this was created exclusively for the artist herself and her close friends. But as you know, love and sensuality motivate to create much stronger than just money. When the First World War broke out, Breslau refused to move to quiet Switzerland and stayed in Paris. Many male artists did exactly the opposite, wrote their impressive portraits of soldiers and nurses, absorbing all the pain they had to experience. Only after the war, Breslau went with Madeleine Zillhardt to Switzerland and lived the rest of her life on her estate, painting floral still lifes and enjoying a peaceful old age next to her loved one. After her death, Zillhardt inherited the estate and all of the artist's creative legacy. She continued to live on the estate and donated her drawings and paintings to the Museum of Fine Arts in Dijon.